Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Justin, and I am joined here this afternoon by Amy, Damon, and Josh that will be talking about their upcoming theater production called Dinner with a Few Sides of Drama, a powerful and co- com- comedic, stage adaptation of the classic film Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, exploring family dynamics, cultural tension, acceptance, and truth. This theater production will be held at the Butler Tech School of Arts in Hamilton, Ohio on August 1st and 2nd. I want to thank all of you guys for joining in and taking your time to talk about this upcoming theater production. If I guess the best way to start this interview is to kind of just go around the board and introduce yourself and your role in this production. I guess we'll start off with Damon here, if you don't mind.
Hi, I'm Damon Scobey, and I am going to be playing the drums for the soundtrack of the play. We're doing kind of a little jazz backup music between the scenes. Um,
Yep. And I'm Amy. I am the second part of the duo. Our project, our band actually is called Bass Plus One. It's just like he had said, a jazz duo. Play bass. I'm also a local actress in the area, and now have branched out into music, and that's about it. Branch out in music for productions, and it's new for me, and it's very exciting.
Yeah, I'm Josh Cox. I play John Parker in the play. I met Terry and them. Well, I met Allison, one of the actresses, through one of these other improv things, and that's how I got in contact with Terry. Did a short film with him, and but that was a few years ago. And now yeah, I live over here in Indiana, but they ended up getting me, and I make the haul over to Cincinnati, and it's or I guess Hamilton, North Cincinnati. But yeah, I'm a comedian here. I've done acting since I think I started eighth grade, and then just been doing stand up and acting ever since. And here I am.
I've always believed that a theater production has always been underestimated in society. But definitely when you have music, films, you know, I guess in the community with sports too, was such a bigger thing long time ago. What I'm going to start off with you, Josh. With acting, what is there what gravitated your attention or attraction to acting? You said you did this back in eighth grade. That's where it's all started.
Yeah. Well, yeah, acting, I love it because, like I said, I do stand up, and I've always been kind of, the comical or whatever, make people laugh and act silly, all that. But I like acting so much because I get to show a serious side. And I get it, like, I forget who had said it, but you kind of take, pieces of yourself that are not good or however you feel about them, and you get to use them in a character. I like acting so much because it's like you get to use all your flaws, and it's like, oh, this is the character. So then you get to kind of live out, like, how would, since an exaggerated part of this my being, it's like I get to exaggerate it on stage and see how it would play out if I acted like this and things like that. So it's like it's a way to let out things that you don't always get to let out. And I think it's just like it's fun, it's challenging, it's different. And yeah, that's what I just loved it so much. I always enjoyed, obviously with comedy, I always would, play on characters, but it's like it's more fun to dive deeper into like playing it seriously and the straight in the comedy. It's I love it. It's just fun.
Well, Damon and Amy, you guys have been musicians. I know we talked just briefly. Damon, you were playing instruments, and then you kind of took a break and you came back. Music is very rich in its history as well. What has inspired you guys to want to just pick up and continue playing music? done saxophone in high, middle school, high school, you know, you could string a guitar, but it's another thing to take it, as a more in-depth hobby and a career.
It's one of those things that I gravitated to. I mean, I started early in high school. The second I heard Stuart Copeland and the Police, I was sold, and I wanted to start playing drums. Like, I mean, this is 30 years ago, and I mean the thing about music is it's a way to speak without actually talking. Um, you can show a lot with just playing a small excerpt. Um, the thing about the drums for me has always been it's just I started in band class, from years ago, took a break from there, went back to it all through high school. I ran around, trying to do heavy metal bands and stuff like that. And, it's that didn't obviously didn't go very well because nobody's ever heard of anything I've been in. But later on, it kind of turned into just doing it as something to just keep me active and keep me involved in, connecting with people. I wasn't, I didn't do a lot of extracurricular activities, sports or things like that. I wasn't really very good at them. So this sort of became my sports, and or my sport rather. And it actually ended up, we lived in Eugene, Oregon for years ago. And I got to the point to where I was able to do studio tracks for a small studio in town there. And just for various projects, people needed a drummer for whatever. And so I just always kind of kept up on it because, it's, I would like to keep it separate from my job because some people like they refuse to do anything because they want to be a musician. It was kind of like I always wanted to be a musician, but not really. If I didn't have to work, that's what I'd be doing. So I figured I had to ask myself the $1 million question at some point: is what would you do if you had $1 million? Well, if the answer is play the drums, I'm supposed to be playing the drums.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And for me, my background is in acting. I like Josh started in high school and just developed a love for it clear back then. But, as we grow up, we kind of, or some of us get away from what we truly love. To pursue job opportunities or, a career that's going to, sustain us. So, to make a long story short, I got back into acting probably about 6 or so years ago. I had been working as a case manager for foster children. And we did a lot of support for the counselors at the organization that I worked for. And one of the things that I started working with the kids was just little exercises using drama therapy. And it was almost a light bulb moment where I remembered how much joy that brought me and how much joy drama and acting brought me as a child, and how you really do work through a lot of issues, or you can work through a lot of issues with acting. So got back into it and just hit the gas and went. And I'm very active today. I am represented by Heyman Talent. I do a lot of commercials, a lot of independent films. I don't really do a lot of stage work. But now, fast forward to meeting Terry. I met Terry this winter. He had a table read for this current project that we're working on, Dinner with a Few Sides of Drama. And I had just mentioned to Terry that, hey, I would love to work with you currently right now, my husband and I are doing some things musically, working on some projects that we might be able to be a good fit for in the future. And so we maintained communication on and off. I think it was February when I met him, and he approached us earlier this summer about, hey, would you guys like to maybe consider doing the backup music for this production? And we had started working on a lot of jazzy types of pieces, and it was a really good fit. So we said, heck yeah, and here we are, and it's really, we're very excited about it. It's really coming together, and it's turning out really well.
Really excited to be involved in something like this, because I mean, as just being, you know, mostly into music, I mean, watching them put this play together, I have a massive amount of respect to where going up there, being able to remember the lines. And I mean, that's a lot of pressure, you know. It's not like you know, cut and you can do it again in the middle of a play.
Yeah.
And you know,
And I've seen their productions in the past, and they're no short from perfection, as you know. This is something that deserves to be on Broadway.
Yeah, for comedy too. Josh, you know, doing comedy, that's to me, comedy is like a superpower. It's just, I've always envied people who can go up there and not only have the fortitude to be able to stand up in front of people and do something like that, but I mean, just knock it out of the park and you know, make them laugh. That's a superpower, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think that goes back around to talking about this play. I'm talking with Amy, Damon, and Josh, all part of the upcoming theater production, Dinner with a Few Sides of Drama. They'll be performing at the Butler Tech School of the Arts in Hamilton, Ohio on August 1st and 2nd. Tickets are still available. They will be in the description of this video. But, you know, Terry kind of finds those opportunities for people like you guys, like Josh, like even myself, right, for being able to interview you guys. He becomes the inspiration. Enlightened Studios becomes that door, which you don't know after this production what it could lead to. Which runs into my next question: what is your guys's influence? Or do you guys have an inspiration that you guys go off of on the reason why you know you're performing music for Terry? Or you know, taking that actor position for this play.
When I heard what the play was about, I wanted to do it immediately because it's a positive message, and you know, it's just a shame to see, you know, you flip on the news every day and there's just everybody's at each other's throats, and it's just, you know, we need more people like Terry in the world who are trying to spread positive messages. You know, it's just it's definitely something I think the world needs right now.
Yeah. We wanted to be something good. Our music, we wanted to, when we decided to start working on musical projects together, we wanted to create music that made people feel good and made people want to get up and dance and be joyous and not have such a heavy heart. So that was what our original idea was. And then it's kind of like the blocks fell into place, meeting Terry and then being brought on to this project. That's why we're here. It's just, we want to help everybody and help the message of joy be spread.
Heck yeah. Yeah, Terry's the man. He's like Danny Ocean for us. You know, he has his cast of people that, like, if he doesn't, you know, he's got that person, oh, he can pull them in, he can get them, and it's like if that person that I know someone, they're gonna pull him. He's just like he's got the web pretty, you know, pretty well strung out. And yeah, like you said, he's just a good person, and then it's a good message. And I remember when I first was told about it, and we watched the film together. I mean, the film came out, I think, 3 years after MLK's speech, and So that must have been pretty, big then. It's a huge topic, I'm sure that, I mean, obviously huge topic, but then to put that movie out, it's like, you don't know how people are going to react. And the fact that it's, 20, 30, 40 years later, and we're sitting here needing the same message. It's like, it's weird how you go a few steps forward, few steps back, and but yeah, it's a good message, like they were saying. And the reason I like to do it, it's to make people feel good. I mean, music has the power to, completely encapsulate people. No, I love people watching when they're listening to music, like out in like on in a big club or a cruise ship. You just see people dancing, they lose their mind, and it's a beautiful thing. Like you see people you don't ever see doing weird things, and they're having like they're on cloud nine dancing around, and it's a beautiful thing. So that's what I mean. Same thing with like acting and doing comedy. Obviously comedy, you want to make people laugh, but acting, it's you get to deliver a powerful message and make people laugh, leave their stuff at the door, go off to a different spot, a place in their head, and learn something. And it's like not like preachy or pointing down or anything, no punch down or anything. It's just you get to go into a new world, take a message from that world that doesn't exist here, and then you get to bring that back, and then yeah, spread that joy and positivity to everybody. And I think that's what Enlightened Studio does time and time again. They have powerful messages, and they always keep it light and informative. And yeah, it's just a pleasure to work with them. It's
It
good
is.
stuff.
Josh, you played John Walterman, a peacekeeper of the extended family.
Yeah.
And just kind of getting to know the role, this person, he's outgoing, he's kind of laid back, he's kind of go with the flow, and from my understanding, maybe I'm miscorrected, but it also I feel like it resembles a lot about who you are also. Um,
uh,
how do you prepare for a role like that that's already kind of pre-made?
I know. I was telling Terry when I read the role, I was like, "Did you?" I was like, "Did you have me in mind when you wrote this? Have we talked about?" Because it's funny because I do get to play the comedic relief, but then at times, when people are off balance and things like that, that's when I get to hit them with, an actual thoughtful piece, and then they're like, "Whoa!" Even I think Walter even has the line, and he's like, "Is this, are you messing with me, or is this one of your rare scholarly moments?" And it's like, I love that. I relate to that so much because being a comedian, actually just today at work, someone was saying something about it. And like, why would you want to be taken seriously if you're a comedian? It's like, just for respect matters, it would be cool to just have people take you seriously. I mean, but it's like, I like the character John, and I relate so much to him of being, that silly guy that is actually thoughtful and has things to say when people are listening. So it's a very easy role to slip into. I was telling them yesterday, I was like, you guys have all the weight of, really carrying the message. I just get to come in and lighten it up and make them laugh. And while they're like already deep in thought, shock value a laugh or something like that. And like, well, you have thoughtful things. So it's like, yeah, but they don't expect it from me. So it's like, there's no pressure for me to drop wisdom or anything. It's like, I just get that gift of being like, oh, hey, by the way, it's not that difficult. You're being an idiot. I got to say that to Walter, and then he wants to beat me up. So it's fun. It's just it's playing John. It seems like John was written for me because it
Yeah.
is kind of how I live. But yeah, it's pretty easy to play this one.
So with the connection of you and this character, right? How it, there's a sense of it seem looks like it looked like it would be easy for you to, you know, go ahead and perform. But on the other hand, there must be amount of pressure because now you got to be yourself, which you're already yourself. Yet you can't mess that
Yeah,
up too. Is it easy or is it hard?
yeah. I mean, yeah, there are parts where it's like, um, it's I guess I'd say it's easy to slip into it because it's like, I just get to play it natural, but then it's hard because it's like, well, I don't want to just be me out there. I have to have some difference with this guy. So I've kind of added, he is supposed to be a laid back guy, but like he is an emotional roller coaster the whole time because like, he's freaking out about what's going on and then he doesn't know what's happening, but then he comes in and he's like, just says something very stupid. And it's just like, it's so fun because it's just like, I get to play 1,000 different emotions and however many scenes, and it's just like John is just all over the place. So it is hard to not, make sure I am John and not Josh out there, but
Yeah.
it's easy to blend them. So it's a little give and take with it.
So these next two questions I have for you guys is going to be for all three of you, but in reverse, if that makes sense. We'll start off with Josh with the first one here. Um, how does how does the band, the music being played during the production, in between scenes, and all that stuff, how does that help you, if it does, to bring the best out of you or to help you get through your roles?
Yeah. Oh man. I was hoping I'd get a chance to talk about how awesome music is. It's incredible because it's like music adds value to any production. I mean, you put it in movies, it changes it. So having it live music with a live play, I mean, chef's kiss. It's awesome because like uh it carries it in between, so it's like, you would have that lull and a change of a setting. It's just like you get a little beat with it, I'm backstage always bobbing my head with it. It's just, I love it so much. It adds so much value to a production and things like that. So, I mean, yeah, it makes it more fun and more live. I mean, music makes it just adds so much production value, I think.
In a reversed question for you, Amy and Damon, you guys are back there playing music. You guys are setting that tone, setting it up for the next stage and whatnot in between scenes. Um, how does that adjustment work for you in in more of a production theater play? This isn't film. This isn't, live on a stage. This is, you're setting that tone and that mood for the next scene to come up, or you're trying to set that suspense by the music that you guys play.
Well, the thing that is different about this, any project I've ever been involved in, when you typically have a band, you make a set list and you practice up all of your stuff, and then when you come out, at a show, it's just you, and you're going from song to song, and you're basically having to be the performance and that sort of thing. And it's kind of the same concept as in a band. Sometimes you're soloing, sometimes you fade back and you're supporting the rest of the band, so somebody can go off and do their thing out front,
Mhm.
and it's kind of like it's completely different in a sense that we're listening the entire time for cues. We're waiting for that last line before the lights technically get cut. And, so it's very different to where we have a specific time that we need to play. It's, 30 seconds between each cut. So it's a little bit more involved where you're listening for it. When you hear your cue, I start a timer that actually tells us when we need to stop so we don't play too long, and
Yeah.
make sure we stay on track. And it kind of feels like a sort of a like if the probably the easiest example is Seinfeld. When they switch between the scenes, you kind of hear the bass guy go off and he does
Yeah.
this little thing. It's kind of that type of concept. We're not the main attraction. We're there to support the actors and make sure that they can get to where they need to go, switch the set, or do whatever they need to do, and sort of hold things up while they're getting ready for the next scene.
And I also want to add to knowing the context of where we're at in the play. When you play music, you also want to, there's all that technical stuff, but you also want to remember to what the underlying emotions are in each scene.
Mm.
So if you can kind of embody that, then it really does come out in the music. And I feel like it just kind of gives that extra bit of chemistry. Even though it's a 30-second song, it might be a scene where we're a little sad or a little bit more serious or really goofy, So I always try to keep that in the back of my mind as well when I'm playing in between scenes, to just add a little bit more flavor to the music versus all technical.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I've learned over the last couple of years, and this is something from watching Terry's productions, and and maybe it's just only Terry because I don't see this much other. But when you're in a theater production for Terry, I feel like it's not just about making sure you hit your cues or you're saying the right lines. It's also the reaction that you get from the crowd and the people out there. And I've seen things that have been tweaked or changed, whether it's in the music being played or someone saying a line or going off script for a moment because the crowd reaction. And he, I've seen parts where the production has allowed that to happen. Is there any room in that in this upcoming play, Dinner with a Few Sides of Drama? Because I know that this is based off of a film, but there's also supposed to be some, kind of laid back and, go with the flow moments or how the crowd, how it feels overall.
There's some very funny moments in it, and a lot of them come from Josh because like the one character describes him in it's he's like a Wi-Fi signal in a thunderstorm. So the comedy relief is definitely something that it's the levity is really great. It sort of there we go in the serious parts, and then he sort of brings things back up, lightens it back up.
And I think, you and Barry Waltz, you guys have a really good back and forth as well too, which is very, at least it's entertaining to hear from backstage.
It's a great,
yeah. But yeah, just as we've worked through the play, Terry is so trusting. I mean, he'll just he trusts us with the script entirely. I mean, there's parts where and I mean, it's like, I don't think I'd say that. What if I say all of this? I mean, Barry had added in a spot, and it's like, so he does. It's a collaborative piece. I mean, he wrote it, and he had his people. There was obviously a group of people that touched up on it and did all that, but he's very like, here's your role. I mean, he trusts the actors to be like, now give me what you think that will give. And it's like, he hasn't like given any direction, like not like he's given obviously direction, but it's not like, hey, you need to be here saying this to do this. And it's just like all of it's kind of like feel it out, feel how you feel about it, and he's very much he gave me the green light very early. He was like, any improv you want to throw in, anything you think, if you can tag in a line here, tag in a line there, he was like, do it. So I mean, already every rehearsal, we probably think of another bit we can add in or something quick to just like, have a little punch. Cause it's like, I think of it like boxing where it's like, where there's a lot of jabs with, heavy messages. And then the comedy kind of gets them off settled, and then I get to come in and deliver you didn't even expect it, and then you get hit with an uppercut, and it's just like it's a beautiful dance that we get to put on. And yeah, he was very open and trusting with us. It's like, hey, if you feel a moment, if you see something happening, you think this would happen here, he's like, go ahead, all power to you. And it's awesome to work because there's a lot of directors, especially in like the community theater area, we're very like, you need to say like this right here, like that. And it's like, well, do you even trust me as an actor? Why? I'm just here. Anybody could be me if that's how you want it to be. But
They're more worried
Terry,
about themselves and what the product they put out
oh
than
yeah, it's not about showcasing any of your actors. And I think Terry really showcase. I mean, like I said, having live music, he's showcasing all of our talents in one beautiful piece, and that's what Enlightened Studios, man.
Yeah, you gotta love it. We're speaking with Amy, Damon, and Josh, part of the upcoming theater play Dinner with a Few Sides of Drama. Will be held on August 1st and 2nd at the Butler Tech Schools of the Arts in Hamilton, Ohio. Tickets are still available. I just got a few more questions, just if you guys are okay with that.
Sure. Good.
We go back around to this play. This is gonna be all for all three of you guys. What is it like working under the production of Terry and Enlightened Studios, going in each and every week, putting in the work, putting in the practice? What is that environment like getting ready for a production like this?
I look forward to it. Honestly, you are able to go in and be completely at ease to be creative. And that's really nice. There's no tension. There's no just unrealistic expectations. It's just we're gonna go in and we're going to create something amazing.
Yeah, he's got a great leadership dynamic, and it's the creative liberty that it gives you as an artist just makes you want to work harder. Whenever we can't go to absolutely every single practice, we have to sort of go on certain ones, but we try and leave every time with some new information, something that that we learned this time that we didn't know last time. And everyone has just been great with, I mean, they're they're trying to work and do all of their parts on their own, and still they're taking time out of it to work with the band, who has like a little mini script, so it's just been a joy to work with them, and we're really grateful he asked us to do it.
Yeah.
110% agree with that said. He's the best. I mean, he's very he reignites a fire every time. Like every time it's like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive to get there, and I dread that part. As soon as I get there, it's just like I know why I did that drive, and it's just like the first rehearsal. I was having doubts. I was like, I don't know, this drive is going to be tough, Terry. Like I don't know how I can make it work. Blah blah blah. I was like, I'll be at the rehearsal, but I'm just letting you know it's on my. But he immediately was like, we'll figure something out. He was able to appease my schedule and help that out, and he's just all the time he's like, we're so happy you're here, we're so happy you're here. And it's just like it feels so good to be wanted, kind of, it's like.
Yeah.
And he's like, thank you so much for doing the thing. It's like, buddy, it's your show, thank you for letting me be
Yeah.
a part of your show. It's
Yeah.
like how much he's so thankful for us. And it's like, buddy, you're doing it. It's like you're the mastermind, we're here for you. And it's
Yeah.
like he 100% reciprocates all of it, and he lets you know how much you're appreciated, and it's very, very easy to work for him.
Yes, agreed.
So in every way, in everything that is produced out of Enlightened Studios, in every even the minor parts that people don't think of being important, in this upcoming production, I'm sure there is a message that they have that you want to portray out of this as you're putting this on. So that's kind of where I'm going here next. What is, if someone's going to look at the character or look at the band, right, and want to walk away at the end of the production with one message, and or someone wants to look at John Walterman, right, and take one message at the end of the night, what is that message that you guys are trying to leave on that on that um on that guest that's
Um,
watching the play?
Yeah, I can take this one first. I think I have one of my lines. I mean, I think directly says it, because I think I have a few around in the same argument where I'm having with Barry's character Walter, where it's where I'm like, because I'm already, my character is already a part of an interracial relationship. My wife in the play is black, and so that's where we're like, what's the big problem here? But so my line is, love has no color, it just is, and I think that is. I think that's where I'm saying I get some of the sweet little buttons where it's like, yeah, I mean, that's it right there. There's nothing else to talk about. That seems like the whole point. And it's like, I think I mean, the whole thing is just like, and then there's a few other, Kilmore has this thing where he's like, people can change you. And you have these doubts and prejudging in your head. And it's just like, let people be themselves and open your, expand your horizons. But, love has no color. It just is. So.
Yeah, and be open to people, be open to experiences, and just look at others out of love. And with us, it's like we're here to support all of that message. And hopefully our music lends enough that you guys are inspired to carry that energy through the whole show.
Yeah,
I love it.
Thank you.
With our music project, we intentionally did it instrumental because it's more about just getting people to enjoy and come together. And I think that's the main message, is that I think we got to start coming together, and just in general. And like Josh said, it's kind of like, I'm a Gen X. So I grew up in a time to where it was kind of like nobody cared what color you were. They just cared what kind of skateboard you had, and it's just kind of like you never be sorry for doing the right thing. And you want to support love as is. And if people love each other, that's what they're supposed to be doing. And I think I felt like it's so strange to see things stir up that it just seems like we should have been over years ago, like when the movie came out. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
shame that you have to keep making it over and over. You know, that it's, I guess it's not a shame. I guess it's good to be making it over and over to just keep reinforcing the message. And
Good point.
you just you hate to see when you know people are shocked by something that's just so natural. You know.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, the reason why these type of films and that or productions have to come out is because of a tragic event that has to remind us,
Yeah.
you know, about the ultimate message. You know, you guys talked about going, doing projects and stuff outside of Enlightened Studios and outside of this production. Um, what are upcoming projects or anticipations that we can look forward from each and one of you in the near future?
You guys should take that first.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, we're currently working on our YouTube,
Yeah.
and we're mostly just we're going to be writing a lot more material. This play is actually our technically our first album. We've adapted it to be the soundtrack of the play, and
Okay.
then we'll be moving on to making a lot more material, a lot more videos, and hopefully, you know, being able to, you know, find some venues or some other projects around town to, you know, that might have a use for us. And of course, would definitely love to work with Terry again if he needed us again.
I have a couple of independent films that I'm currently in working on over the summer as well, and I'm acting in those, but hopefully I've put the word out. Hey, we also do soundtrack work.
Yeah.
So that's something that I hope that we can also pick up as well. So
Did would you guys like to share your YouTube channel? I mean, Terry encourages this because, you know, word is key here, and getting the word around is, you know, hopefully someone that's listening or watching this could tune into your YouTube, likes, you know, subscribe, or would you like to share any of that?
Absolutely.
absolutely.
We're at sign base plus one spelled out, BASSPLUSONE. And we should have a sheet in the playbill that'll have our contact info as well as the YouTube information. So
And
everyone
I'll
can
put
find
it
us
in the links here so people
Wonderful.
could see them as well.
thank you
You
so
said
much.
base plus one,
Yep.
right?
At sign base plus one. So youtube.com/at
Okay.
sign base plus one.
Okay, I'll get that uploaded with that. Josh, anything you got going on for you, or
Yeah, so this play was kind of my first. I mean, I haven't been back on stage while doing acting since maybe like last year, the year before that. Can't remember. It could have, should have, probably was last year. But pretty much what I'm going to be doing is I've been doing a lot more stand up recently, so I think I'm just going to kind of go full bore into that after this closes up. I'm just going to try and hit stand up as much as I can just to get as much content I have. And then yeah, I've been kind of doing my own solo sketches, trying to get,
okay?
you know, some people on with that. But yeah, I've been pretty much that's what I'm think I'm doing is going to start just working on my stand up and trying to get more like kind of like a whole set together and start
Yeah,
tired of doing like little open mics. Open mics are fun, but you don't really get to do any actual like
right.
content, you know. So but
Do
yeah,
you have
that's my
any
main.
social media pages that people could follow you on, or
Yeah, my Instagram right now that I put on my sketches and my stand-ups on is called Dude Soup. It's DOODSOOP. I spelled
okay?
dude like that because I'm dumb and it's funny to me. But
Hey, I like it.
but yeah, but Dude Soup, yeah. So that's where I've kind of just put out my sketches and things like that. But I think I'm also gonna start branching into maybe a YouTube channel of my own, doing some things. So, but that's the next goal is kind of just focus on, you know, make putting out a good project or something like that. And either that's comedy, short film, or whatever I can put together. So
Yeah. So listen, I appreciate the information. And the reason I say that is, like I said, you know, Terry and Enlightened Studios is all about that complete circle, right? He's providing that door for each and every one of us to have that opportunity to grow within ourselves, to hopefully grow beyond ourselves. I mean, Terry wants nothing more to watch each and every one of us to come in here, take our key ass, skills and expand that, globally, right? And so to be able to share your YouTube page and, hopefully people, at least if one person from this video can go over and subscribe. Same thing with you, at your Instagram page and be able to, hey, let's follow and see the next time you do a show, we could be there live. I mean, that's just it's a win for us. I got one last question for you guys here. Part of the play. Why, just simply, why should people come out and watch this next weekend?
It's good. I mean, it's a good message. It's good acting. It's good writing. It's good music. I mean, it's a ball of positivity. I mean, it's the drama, the comedy. It's what live theater is all about. I mean, it's just you got a whole culmination of people that are from different things doing all these different things, but we get to come together, spread this message. It's an original script, even though it's an adaptation of an old one. It's like this is what people do community theater for, because we're sending a message that we want to send. It's not that I don't know. It's good top to bottom.
Yeah, and to just take a break from all the chaos out there and come
Yes.
and just sit in the happiness and positivity.
Yeah, come hang out with us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come hang out
Come
with
hang
us.
out. Come hang out. Have
Well,
a day.
Dinner with a few sides of drama. It's being called a hilarious, heartwarming, and a Holy Spirit led experience. Will be performed at the Butler Tech School of Arts in Hamilton, Ohio. It's a 2-day production play. First one's on Friday at 7 p.m. On August 1st. Second one, they have two on Saturdays. One's at 2, one's at 7. Double performance. Any tricks to that? Is there any complications getting reset and refocused?
No, just phone it in for the first one. No, just kidding. No, I mean it's like stand up. You just gotta, if your joke land. If it not, you still just gotta go out there and deliver it like you gotta deliver it. So
Do they have anything planned for you guys in between? Do you guys like take off and come back, or does he have like a
I'm
like a
not sure
group
actually.
lunch
I
or
don't know if he's discussed it or if I actually do not know, but I'm sure we'll have something going on.
Well, tickets are still available. If you guys are looking for something to do, August 1st, August 2nd. I know it's still pretty hot outside, so it'd be nice to get out of into some AC here and enjoy some laughs. And I'm gonna assume there's be some cries in between as well. And enjoy some music in between. But anything else that I didn't include that I should include into this?
No, please just thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Did we mention how awesome Terry and Enlightened Studios
Oh,
was? I don't
probably a
remember.
million times. I mean,
As
but
long
that's the
as
reason
in
why
there.
we're all here, right? I mean,
Absolutely. And Terry we trust.
it does. Hey, thank you, Josh, Damon, Amy. Thank you so much for taking the time and coming on here, talking with us about this upcoming theater play. Good luck in the performances, and I wish you guys the best. Hey, I did mention, I'll just say this on the recording here, but I will be there live doing live streams before and after the productions on Friday and Saturday. So who knows? Maybe you guys stop by, say hi. We'll talk about it, share some laughs, share some tears and whatnot, and just have ourselves a good time. But hey, thank you guys for showing
Absolutely.
up and talking to us this evening.
And thank you for having us.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you very much.
I had a blast. Well, thank you. This is the upcoming theater production, Diner with a Few Sides of Laugh, and like I said, tickets are still available, so get them now.
Thank you
Right
so
there.
much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.